guys can fire away.
Ryan, just another year where a new quarterback is going to be under center for you. How does it feel going into this one with a little bit of a younger feel with Anthony Richardson coming in instead of the veteran presence?
They've been great. Obviously, when Gardner came in day one, I mean, his energy, the way he prepares, he's going to go out there and give it everything he's got every single day, leave nothing on the table. So I think that mentality for that room was at the tempo, and then obviously having Anthony, I think from where he was at in OTAs to where he was today, calling plays in the huddle, the enthusiasm, the command of that huddle, I thought was incredible. So to see him take those strides has been really awesome, and look forward to it.
Coach Brown said yesterday that you, Quentin, and Braden have really taken ownership of the room and moving forward, making sure everything goes smoothly. What kind of things have you guys done to right the ship, I guess?
I mean, I think it was just a reset after last year, coming back together and saying, look, as crazy as last year was, all the things that were transpiring, we knew that, we're still the same players, right? We still have the same guys in this room. We can go do what we wanted to do. The first half of Minnesota, we did what we wanted to do. These games, and we look back at the film, I thought Tony did a great job of highlighting a lot of the plays that we had last year. He's like, it's not all bad. He's like, we have some miscommunication breakdown, stuff like that happens, and it gets blown out of proportion. But it's like you turn on the other plays that nobody talks about, but we're dominating. So this is what you have to go do. And I think that he's been a great factor in that room just to bring us all back and give us that bond, that band of brother mentality of going back out there and just doing it for each other. It's been awesome.
Well, I realize everybody takes care of their own business. Does it impede the progress of the offense when JT's not out there?
I mean, you definitely feel it. I mean, he's obviously our guy, a great running back, and he's been that way for the last couple of years. So it is weird. I think it's kind of the same thing as you missing any guy, right? It's always they always say it's a plug-and-play business, but, when you're missing a star player like that, it is tough. But I hope the guys that have been out there so far have done a great job. I think Zach Moss is doing an incredible job. We've got some young guys in there who are really getting their chance to shine. So obviously hope he gets back out there soon.
From an on-field perspective, how does a stud running back help an offense? I know the talk is you can kind of replace him, but would say JT's probably top 5 in the league.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just running the ball; it's communication. It's getting in there in protection meetings and learning it. I mean, so much of what running backs do is protection. They don't see that. It's not the sexiest stat in the world, but certainly having those both abilities to do that is such a big crucial role, and that's why he's great.
Ryan, what have you seen from the young guys in Fries and Ryman so far?
They've been great. I mean, just everybody in the room, right? It's a place that guys want to come to right now. It's a place that that we love, right? It's that sacred room that we didn't have the last couple of years. And I thought it's just been amazing to be back and with the guys. And obviously training camp's so special because you're really growing the entire offensive line together, right? It's the young guys we're bringing along. It's the guys that have been there for a long time, like me, Q, and Braden, and just building it now. And that's what's awesome about it.
A couple of adjustments that you had to make with the entirely new offensive staff and new offensive line coach even on your part.
I mean, it's just kind of the game. It's part of the NFL. I mean, luckily Shane's come from the Eagles where it's not too different, but I think Tony's done a great job of listening to players too. I think that's a hugely missed point in the NFL as far as coaches goes. You get to let players play, and they've learned through experiences. He doesn't have all the answers. We don't have all the answers, so it's always a collective, peer-to-peer collaboration. And at the end of the day, he's the coach. We listen to him, but I thought he's done a great job of listening to us and seeing input on our part and just collective talking. That's how you get better. It's how we grow.
Ryan, if there's
Say again? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I mean, it's. I always think about what it'd be like to have both those guys in the room. I mean, I think at one point those two and Frank were all together. So it's cool, and I mean, we just love Shane so much. It's awesome.
If there's one word to describe this year's line, what is that?
I mean, I'd say beast comes to mind. After last year, I think that we all kind of took a couple steps back from the game. We didn't really talk to each other for a week or two. I think that we needed that to really think about last year, the last couple of years, and how they've gone. And when we came back in the beginning of April, mid-April, the energy in the place had changed. I could tell as soon as we walked in, guys were happy to be back. Guys were ready to go back to work. And I mean, it's probably hard for you guys to see it or write paper about it, but being in that room every day in the last 4 months, seeing the room develop and getting back to where it was before, has been really special. So that's the word.
Is there a strong camaraderie outside of the practice field? Is there a strong camaraderie outside of the practice field? You guys get together and stuff?
Oh yeah, it's got to be. I mean, it's always been that way. And obviously COVID was a little weird for a couple of years, but guys hanging out, guys going to dinner, guys bullshitting together, those are, that's just the best part of being an offensive lineman in the NFL, man. It's like, we've got guys from all walks of life, coast to coast, north to south, and to come together, knowing that like not everybody's going to be here in a month from now, but like this time is so special, and we got two great coaches in there who are pushing us, who are instilling all that faith in us, and really gaining all that confidence back for every player. I think it's amazing.
This offseason kind of was the first one where your name came up in a little bit in trade rumors. How do you been kind of attacking that and that different aspect of the offseason?
I don't care. I don't look at it.
Ryan, sorry if this has been asked, but how have you seen Shane put his fingerprints on this team?
It's been amazing. I mean, I think two things come to mind. It's just the execution, and then also just competing and having fun. I mean, a guy like that, he understands what it takes to get to that level. Like, look at their, the season last year that they had, and the first year they got to Philly when they started out a little slow and everybody was doubting them, right? To come back from that. But also, it's a game of like having fun. Like, you can go to work every day and be miserable. Things aren't going great, this and that, and that's an awful place to be around. But he mixes in the competitive fun, the greatness, the excellence he's going to hold every guy to, and also like calling out everything that's small, right? If you're missing something here, if it's a walkthrough and there's a bad snap or we're not in the right formation, like that's going to get called out, and that's how you hold guys accountable. That's how you get better as a team.
Thanks, Ryan.